Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. My name is Carrolet Thomas, and welcome to my channel. Thank you to those of you who have subscribed to my channel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Because the world is so different now than it used to be in so many profound ways, it is so important that we get clearance from God about everything. After praying, meditating, and reflecting, I felt that it was okay to share with you all that it's my birthday. Life is a miracle, a one-shot chance of conception for every human being that makes it to earth. It is truly a gift from God. And to live, to grow old, and age with wisdom is a divine blessing. Because all of my messages are God inspired, once I knew that I would talk about my birthday, I needed to know what God would have me to say. I asked, and God answered. Hallelujah. This year, I feel led to reflect on my 30th birthday. It is one that I will never forget. This was a milestone birthday for me. What I didn't know was that the number 30 signifies mature dedication, milestones, and the transition into full responsibility, often marking the start of a public ministry or service. My birthday memories as a child are somewhat vague due to having suffered from the loss of my mother when I was young and all the unimaginable grief that comes with that. But as an adult, I have been intentional about celebrating each year in whatever way that is meaningful to me as God leads. So, for my 30th year, my birthday fell on a Tuesday, and I decided that I was going to take 3 days off of work. At the time, I was working as a computer programmer, which was not a good fit for me and my giftings and talents. And it was just all consuming, stressful, and exhausting, to be honest. And that is an understatement. I decided that I was going to take off Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So basically, I would have 5 days off, including the prior weekend. As God would have it, there was a citywide Women of Faith conference that was coming to the city that I was living in at the time. The event was not expensive, and it was being held on Friday evening and all day Saturday prior to my birthday. I decided that I would go to that, and that would be the event that I would associate with what I did for my birthday. I felt that it was divine placement for my birthday schedule, as I had no other plans other than my usual birthday dinner with my son. My plan was to relax and reflect on Monday, my last day of my 20s, to go shopping and to dinner on Tuesday, my birthday, and on Wednesday to relax, recuperate, and ready myself for going back to work and embarking on my 30s decade. Everything went according to plan. Hallelujah. But what I didn't know was that on the day of my 30th birthday, unbeknownst to me, until late that evening, God was giving me a birthday gift of a miracle. I remember the day very well. The weather was nice. I took my son, who was in the fourth grade at the time, to school, and I spent the whole day out and about shopping. I vividly remember one of the stores that I was in that was quite a distance from where we lived. I must say that I love to shop when most people are at work. In my experience, customer service and customer experience are usually better. I must tell you that I was not the only person out and about. There were other people everywhere I went, and I went to a lot of different places. And people were doing what people normally do, talking and moving about, the whole 9 yards. When my son got out of school, I picked him up, and in the early evening, we journeyed to a local restaurant that we usually went to celebrate our birthdays, as they would have a free birthday meal for the person whose birthday it was. It was our thing. We would do it for my birthday, and we would do it for his birthday. Now, I must tell you that I am an empath. This is a very important piece of information to the crux of this story. So please bear with me while I share the definition, just to be clear for those that may not know what an empath is. An empath is a person with a heightened capacity to sense, absorb, and internalize the emotions, physical sensations, and energy of others, often experiencing them as their own. Beyond empathy, they possess intense sensitivity, often struggling to differentiate between their own feelings and those around them, making them vulnerable to exhaustion. Key traits and experiences of an empath: deep emotional absorption. They feel others' emotions and physical pain rather than just understanding them. Highly sensitive and intuitive. They pick up on subtle cues, unspoken emotions, and negative energy, often having a strong sense of intuition about people. Overwhelming sensitivity. Empaths can easily feel drained, overwhelmed, or suffer from anxiety in crowded places or stressful situations. Compassion and listening. They are often deeply caring, good listeners, and drawn to helping people in distress. Types of empaths. Empaths can be emotional, sensing feelings, physical, absorbing physical symptoms, or intuitive or environmental, picking up on energy and unspoken thoughts. Common challenges and coping mechanisms. Gift and curse. Their sensitivity allows deep connection, but can lead to emotional exhaustion, fatigue, or addiction if not managed. Relationship challenges. Empaths can become targets for emotional vampires, like narcissistic personalities, who drain their emotional energy. Need for boundaries. To maintain well being, Empaths must set firm boundaries, practice self-care, and ensure they have adequate alone time. So basically, an empath feels things as though it is happening to them and or for them. For example, if something good happens to someone, they are happy for that person as if it were them. If something bad happens to someone, they are sad for that person as if it happened to them. Take my word for it. If you don't already know, it can be a lot and sometimes too much. And I am convinced that God knows. Well, my son and I got back to our home, and for the first time that day, I turned on the TV and I see what the Lord had shielded me from all day long. There had been a school shooting at Columbine. Yes, the Columbine High School massacre shooting was on my 30th birthday. I stared in disbelief. It was all over the TV. I had spent the whole day and early evening out and about everywhere, including dinner with my son. And nobody, not one person, had said anything about it to me and or to someone else while I was in earshot. Had they, it would have ruined my whole birthday because I am an empath. I would have felt the gravity of that situation from the moment that I heard about it, as I did once I saw what had happened late that evening on the TV. God is so good. He really does care about us, and He does shield us from harm. He knows how much we can bear, and His plans for us are good. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And that's Jeremiah 29, verse 11. The Bible states in Psalm 37, verse 23, in the King James Version, the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delighteth in his way. Means God actively directs the daily life, decisions, and path of those who follow him. It had been a good day for me until then, but it was a God day overall. I was so grateful that God shielded me from hearing and knowing about the Columbine shooting throughout the day. By the time I went to bed, I was so exhausted from the news that I had gotten later than most people that I probably did not rest well. But because I had already planned to be off on Wednesday, the day after my birthday, that gave me an opportunity to try to take it all in. Because the Columbine shooting was one of the deadliest school shootings. It was national news for a while and is still a day that remains firmly in my memory because it was my 30th birthday. Now, this is not meant to be a sad message. This message is given as a testimony that per Luke chapter 1, verse 37, nothing is impossible with God. No matter what is going on in the world, God is still concerned about what is going on in our world. He loves us just that much. Hallelujah. So, this is my birthday message to you. Nothing is impossible with God. I hope and pray that this message has been a blessing to you. If you would like to be a blessing to me and my ministry today for my birthday and or on any other day, the ways to donate and give are in the video description box. I will tell you that I do have current needs for new equipment and most dire, a new computer to continue to produce content. So, if you feel led to help, any and all monetary gift donations of any amount are appreciated. I know that the Lord is Jehovah Jireh, our provider, but I also know that God works through people, and we are Jesus's hands and feet in the earth. And the Bible also says in James chapter 4, verse 2, that we have not because we ask not. This is my ask. Shirley Chisholm and Marion Wright Elderman said, service is the rent we pay for the privilege of living on this earth. It is my pleasure and service to God to serve you. And with that being said, I am so happy and grateful to God for each and every one of you who view my videos, like my videos, make comments, and subscribe to my channel. Your presence is a gift to me, and I hope my presence and prophetic words in obedience to God is a gift to you. It's my birthday. Hallelujah. I am grateful to God and celebrating life. Thank you for listening and supporting my YouTube channel. God bless you and just be happy.